Welcome to episode 47.
8, 9, 10.
Hold on, let's see. I can see.
Shit.
This is episode 47.
Here's all the things that have happened since we have started this podcast, dude. Think about the world, right? So we have bombed Iran's nuclear facility, and then we have gone into are preparing to go into Iran, right? All in the time frame that we've started and kept going. You know what I'm saying? This could be the lead up, dude. I'm just kidding.
Are we capturing firsthand what this world will look like after the fact?
It's like, I feel I was like thinking about this earlier, right? Like, how long before time passes for a person to no longer be like oh that was a bad person, like, because there's enough passage of time that passes that people start to look at them like, all right, like, it's just a fucking other historical figure, like, like, think about it, like let's say like 10 years after Genghis Khan was done, like 20 years after Genghis Khan was done, like people were probably still mad, like, fuck that guy, right? Like
there's a lot of Genghis Khan going on, yeah,
right.
Yeah,
like, so, but then, like, think about like 200 years after Genghis Khan.
I mean, he's
right?
still seen as a kind of bad guy, but I guess like no one says like.
But
like,
think about even
no one's
Julius,
talking about Genghis Khan on a
even
daily
Julius
basis.
Caesar to a degree, right? Like, he's a fucking like a savage, bro. He just went and fucking took over shit.
Well, I mean, I guess like to the
but I'm
Victor
saying,
Wright history, I guess. So that's like Western
but even then, like,
civilization,
right, like
Western
100
Europe.
years, 200, 300 years, like 400 years, like there comes a time when it's like enough time has passed. Now they just become a historical figure, not the ultimate bad guy. You know what I'm saying? Like
I guess, yeah. And like, I guess in the time of Genghis Khan was Genghis Khan. In the time of
he was probably a very bad
maybe
dude.
like ours, like Hitler is still probably like the top one. You know, like in.
But there is gonna come
in our lifetime, I guess.
Right. There's gonna come a time, I guess, at certain point.
Like,
where, like, let's say, like, it's like 500 years from now, they're like, okay, it was just like another crazy historical figure or whatever, right? Like, context might change, whatever, like, like, not to say like none of the stuff was bad, but as more time passes, like, like other perspectives come in and stuff like that, right? Like, and then change. Again, he was a bad guy. I'm trying to be a simp. No,
I mean, I think I think what you're trying to say is like, I mean, after generations, you kind of just the story gets told, and it's like a game of telephone where the story just kind of gets diluted each time, kind of thing. Where it's like it becomes like, yeah, that did happen 500 years ago. It's like
right.
And
like, think about it.
Like the idea of Genghis Khan having like babies, like half of Asia, like, or a third of Asia has a blood that leads to Genghis Khan means that he raped a lot. Like, our minds can't even fathom that, I guess.
But think about this: he killed so many people that it reduced the carbon footprint.
That's what I'm saying.
World.
Like, but I think that's so, like, it's such an absurd thing to say. Like it's just kind of,
or it's just gone. It's gone in history.
It seems like almost like a mythical thing. You know what I mean?
Someone has to go in and look and be like, all right, this guy. Because think about it right now. Like, we're thinking about this because, like, it happened 80, 90 years ago, and it's World War I, World War II, and that's only in the context of 100 years. Like, both of the wars happened in the last 100 years, right? Of all of humanity's history, right? Like, let's even like call like the Napoleon's War, fucking can't say it.
Neopolonic Wars.
No. Whatever. It was.
Is that what it's called?
Napoleonic. God, I can't say it.
So you could say
Napoleonic Wars. That's what it is. Anyways, like, even if you consider that to be like the first World War, right? Like, where multiple countries and in multiple places were fighting, that's still in the context of 200 years, right? Put this into perspective. Genghis Khan was doing his thing in the 1200s, right? Like, that's 800 years ago. So between now, or between the, like, let's say between World War II, start of World War II, and the next 800 years, I am sure other guys are gonna come that are just gonna be like pretty bad. So some bad dudes are gonna come between now and then.
For sure.
That puts different context and perspective to like, okay, like, yeah, that guy was like, you know, like 6 million, like, you know, like, or whatever. Like, what if someone does like, you know, like a 100 million type of shit? Like,
Well, I mean, if you really
some
want
crazy numbers. You know?
I mean, if you want to talk numbers, there's higher numbers. You know, in Russia, I mean, the Bolshevik Revolution had a crazy amount of like 10 to 20 million people died.
Yeah,
Russians.
yeah. I mean, like
That's a genocide. How many people died in the Armenian genocide? Like
not that many. Not a lot of people died.
It was a few million, though.
Was it a few million?
Yeah, let's find out, man.
I feel like it's under a mil.
You think so?
Yeah, 1 million people's a lot, dude.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, I think the biggest one was like the Great Leap Forward type of situation.
Like Mao.
Yeah. 1.5?
600 to 1.5 million.
Yeah, it's probably on the lower end than the higher end.
Yeah.
Also, like, I can no longer believe what I read on textbooks to be accurate, factual information in the last 100 to 200 years. 100 years, right? 150 years. Because the best way to control people, at least before the age of the internet, was by writing it in books and teaching it in school. So if you are like, you know, having some sort of a side agenda, then you're gonna like, you know, like, think how much power like bookmakers have, dude.
Well, really, I mean, the people who pay, yeah. I mean, that's kind of the argument with McGraw-Hill and these things of like that's where they're
Ghislaine Maxwell's dad.
Well, I mean, that's even before that. I think it was like the idea of like, well, this one company kind of has a monopoly on all the entire education system and like what's kind of being spread and taught. And again, you hope, fingers crossed, that the people who are writing it are have the best intentions in mind, you know. But
we see that ultimately. We see that with even like news, right?
Well, I mean, with news, I think it's a bit different just because like they're entertainment. It's an entertainment company whether you look at it no matter what. So like, how do you keep people entertained? You have to kind of have a side and make things exciting. You know, it's like news can be super boring. You know,
where do you go to find news? Like nowadays,
to be honest, like I think like
TikTok,
watching
straight up.
Unfortunately,
like,
TikTok is actually
facts.
Like if you want to find something really fast and quick, like a first person video, TikTok is an amazing source in that. You know,
I wasn't able to watch the State of the Union or the state address yesterday.
Yeah.
Like the Trump came out and like said some shit. I wasn't able to watch that. So after it was done, or like I think I caught like it was still going on, or it was just ended. I think within seconds, I was able to go on TikTok and like someone was like already breaking it down. And again, like the person that's breaking down, like he could have his own agenda.
Sure,
but the point is, information is coming very fast.
Psychologically, I think watching TikTok, you feel like, well, it's a TikTok video. I gotta kind of like you're almost suspicious just by default. You know what I mean? So it's like, but then you start looking through it and.
I think like I don't know how many people do this, but like my feed on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and I'm on Facebook a lot, like on videos and shit. But my feed is polar opposites on like any given day. I will see some straight vile stuff, or right wing stuff. Then I will see same level of vile left-wing stuff. Like, I'm like, holy shit.
On TikTok?
On everything. All the algorithms, dude, they just fucking like...
I've noticed, I've gone back on Instagram. I'm not sure if you noticed yet. I read down. Yeah, I know. I just want to announce it to the people, but...
Follow the gram. The Oscar has like 5,000...
No, it isn't. Odd Dude is no more. You got to follow me on Oscar D. Grouch, which is a private one. It's hard to find. But in any case... What I see on Instagram is like the algorithm is a bit more like it's like aggressive towards like pushing you down a wormhole, you know, where like TikTok is a bit more, it'll give you a bit of everything, but it's so
TikTok is heavily censored.
It's more subtle.
I think
it's like
I don't want like I'm on TikTok a lot less, and I'm on TikTok mainly because like my wife sends me like TikTok videos to watch. But I used to be on TikTok, but like I'm mostly just on Instagram or Facebook. And I love TikTok. Like, I was on TikTok on the TikTok grind for a while, but then like ever since this Oracle business went down, dude, I noticed my feed is different.
Awesome.
And also they censored a bunch of fucking shit I put out like on my videos. So like, go fuck yourself. Like,
Damn. What did they censor for?
dude, you know, some racist stuff. I was kidding. No, they censored. It's I don't want to. I don't want to say. No, okay. Also, I was making like some like Sora videos. So I was making just like this funny Sora videos, like where like Gandhi coming in and like wrestling, right? Like he was in the WWE and he would like wrestle the Undertaker or something, or like he would wrestle another historical figure. And I did bunch and then just think of it on that line, right?
I see.
Some of them are like, you know, like so. It's all that, right? So I'm like an equal opportunist hater, right? Like, so I will hate on everyone equally. So all of the videos I'm making, only ones that are getting banned are the ones that are just like, you know, God's chosen people.
I see.
What is going on, dude? Like,
it wasn't Gandhi. It wasn't Gandhi wrestling the Undertaker.
Because I feel like if
people weren't offended by that.
Because I feel like if it's gonna offend you, that should also offend you, right? Like, and it wasn't anything bad. It was just like one of the thing was like, think of the NFL, right? The NFL does a coin toss before a kickoff of a team, right?
Yeah.
And the referees were these people, and then they did the thing, but instead of like trying to figure out like if it's heads or tails, they're all like trying to get the money.
Pretty racist. I mean, it's not racist, but
no, but like again,
yeah,
it's not like. Yeah, I mean, I guess, like, fuck, like...
But again, it's like, it should be equally offensive across the board. Like, all the other videos should have been flagged, I guess, if that was the same thing. But that was the one that got flagged. It's like, well, why is it okay when I make fun of all these other ones, but when I make fun of this one,
right,
it's not okay?
That's the content moderation stuff, right? Like, because, like, some of my other stuff's, like, just, you know, like, I don't know, this is just, like... fucking going down a rabbit hole of like I'm gonna get caught, like fuck. No, some of them was like some Indian stuff, right? Like, but it's like, dude, like it's all in the same spectrum of comedy of like, hey, this is funny, but it's like all of the other ones are not getting blocked, and just that ones are getting blocked, and then like, yeah, like, and then it was weird because it was happening multiple times. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't just one video. Like, oh, like okay, like it's multiple videos. I'm like, this is weird. This is just bizarre. Like, so there's that. You know, it is what it is. It is what it is. It's more censored. It is more censored because I see some lot of like fucked up shit on Instagram. Like some straight. Like,
it gets way deeper. That's what I'm saying. Like it's more aggressive with like.
Not deeper. Like there's you can see more violence and stuff that should get censored that doesn't on Instagram. Like some of the stuff is just disturbing shit. Like sometimes I'm like, how does this like this is not on my like shouldn't be on my feed. It's like clearly very very disturbing stuff. Like and that stuff does not happen on TikTok because like it just like I think it has a more of a harder guardrails around like censorship. So it's just like if anything close to it, just ban it. That's their kind of like philosophy where like there's a little bit more free speech on that, and Twitter is just a fucking free for all, dude. You can just like I'll be scrolling on Twitter sometimes. And I'm like, what? Like, I can't have people coming in the room while I'm trying. Like, what is going on? Like, why am I seeing this? Like, and then no one uses Thread.
And it's X. It's X now.
But, like, you know what's fucking pisses me off like no other? Is, like, I'll be on, like, Facebook or some shit, and then, like, I'll be scrolling, or I'll be on, like, Instagram, and then, like, the content shows up as, like, it's a feed on your regular feed, but then it's on Threads. And then it's moving my app to Thread, and I'm like, go fuck yourself, dude. I don't like that. Because Facebook's trying to push that out.
Yeah.
So it's like you are ruining my experience because now I have to go on that app and then now I have to like I'm not committed to the Threads. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you open it real fast and like, God, and you close it. And
yeah, because I want to read that article because it's like a very like clickbaity shit.
Yeah,
and it's like fuck, like this is...
That's how they get you, though.
Yeah,
that's how they get you. You know, I'm sure like you're out of 10 people, 1 or 2 will stick around. You know, like maybe 8 people are like you and they get upset, but then 2 will stick, and hey, that's all they need.
Yeah.
In any case, man, it's like it's.
Did you hear about Oracle?
Them moving to
No.
them firing.
Oracle fired 30,000 employees.
Yeah, man, that's crazy. So here in India, both places.
Oh, really?
Yeah, not just the U.S. It was India.
Oh, okay,
yeah, it was
okay.
some place here. So, and I don't know the exact number of like where to where, but it was about 50,000.
I think dude, I've been looking at getting a rental,
What do you mean?
buying a. I reached out to a property agent in Rochester, New York.
Only 150 people from the Bay Area. I'm sorry, Rochester, New York.
Yeah,
Can I get
it was a triplex.
Rochester, New York.
Yeah, so it was a triplex. It was for 125, 130,
bad.
and it would cash flow like $2,800.
Are you gonna just buy it outright, or are you gonna finance
I'm
it?
gonna fucking buy it outright. 20% down, dude.
Yeah.
And then you cash flow.
How much
So
so
the
cash flow?
you cash flow like $1,300 a month
And that's with property manager, or no property manager?
with property manager. Did I sent Brett my fucking investment prospectus? He was like, "Yeah, it's a buy. Like if you want, like you should get it." But I didn't end up. I got report, like inspection report, and I was like, "All right, like this is shit," because it didn't have a certificate of occupancy. So I'm like, okay, like. So, and then like the realtor was kind of being very shady about like answering questions, and I even had a realtor reach out. Like it wasn't me. So I was like, oh fuck this, I don't want to.
Well, how are they being shady? What do you mean? Like, were they just not answering the
Well,
questions?
first
or-
she was just not answering the questions, and then the second it was like. I had questions about like the roof, right? Like okay, like because I'm thinking about like from a perspective of like, let's just say like, what's the most expensive thing that can happen that could like fuck this whole thing up is like, or big ticket like items, which is like,
The
roof or the water heater or like the pipes in the winter bursting or
That has central AC.
structural damage, like there's some sort of like fucking
yeah.
side
The
of the houses
foundation,
like foundations fucked up or something. Yeah, and then they just were not willing to like provide that type of information when because it's a 100-year-old house. It's built in like 1900, like literally, like 1901. But so
Literally 100, more than 100 years.
yeah, but it's not a bad investment, right? It's just not a great investment at that price. So the thing came in, like the guy I was talking to, the real estate agent, and he's like I've done like many of these types of transactions. He was like, for what you're trying to do, being cross country, like it's probably not the best because
It's going to require a lot of work.
it's going to require more work. So if you want to find something that's a little bit more, ready, then like it'll probably be better. But I think I'm gonna buy it in Rochester.
That area is where you're looking at?
Yeah, because it has the highest cash on cash return on my money.
Right now?
Yeah, because like, and then also like I'm buying duplexes. Look it up on Zillow. Like go on Zillow. Go on Zillow.
Right now, I'm looking at land or places in Mexico, man. To be honest,
Mexico,
man.
dude.
Yeah, dude.
I told you my one of my managers, dude, in the '80s bought a house in like a little bit south of San Diego. Like what area is that? And then go to
Rosarito?
home types and just do duplexes,
Home types.
multifamily. Yeah, and then just see it right there like that. Okay, so go right there, the 99K. So for 99K, go down. Your monthly mortgage is $744 out of 20%, and each of these units can be rented for go up, approximately $1,300. Oh, this was this was on the same street. It's kind of funny. This was one of the houses I was looking at.
6 bed, 2 bath.
So, but it's two two separate. Get what I'm saying? It's
Sure, sure, sure. But that means it's like 3 bed, 1 bath.
Yeah.
It's fucking.
Who cares? You're not the one fucking living in there.
I
Dude.
know,
What,
I
you're
get
like,
it.
oh, like fuck this.
Well, I mean, like
the fuck, like as long as the house is getting rented, who the fuck cares? Like,
I guess so. Yeah.
like you're not. The point is like, here's where I'm heading with this is, I think because of the whole this AI business it's happening
Yeah.
in the next 5 to 10 years, some real changes are gonna start happening.
For sure.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
And
yeah. You had to be ahead of it.
And
Yeah.
the only thing that's going to have value over time is hard assets.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So, I need to like fucking
Acquire land.
not acquire land, cash flow, you know what I'm saying? I want to get like
Land.
asset and
Get land.
Get paid.
If that house falls down, you know what you still have? A huge plot
That's
of
nobody
land.
fucking wants a plot of land in fucking Rochester.
Hey,
dude.
man.
But here's the good part, Oscar. Think about this, right? Like, that's that 99K house. You do a 20% down, 20,000. Let's just say your closing costs and everything comes down to like 25. You make your money back, that 25K, in 2 years. Think about that. In 2 years, you can go do that again. Now, guess what you have? You have double the fucking cash flow.
Yeah, so around the block, a 2 bed, 1 bath is going for $12.50. Yeah.
See what I'm saying? So I'm pretty convinced that I'm going to buy it here.
Not a bad deal, actually.
I've looked at a couple, but... And I think about it, I'm like, okay, like, it's just like 20, 25 grand. Like, I'm not going to fucking, like... it's a very low-cost investment.
And to be honest, like, I mean, if you really... Because what? Like, hold on. Let me go back to the other page. Your mortgage, if you... Let's see what that would look like real fast, just for shits and giggles.
Your mortgage is $600. It's right there.
It was like 700, right?
774.
Yeah.
Oh.
But I just want to do a quick little game really fast just to see if you were to put like... Okay, so that's 20%. So 20,000, 6%. Property taxes, home insurance. There's no HOA. Yeah, so 725, and you could do each.
Let's just say 725.
Wow, that's fucking nuts.
So let's think about it. So think about it. 725, right? And then add in like vacancy rate, which is probably a like standard, like let's just say 10%, right? So say save 10% from your so mortgage, taxes, vacancy rate, maintenance, all of that combined, and in like a management company and insurance, all of that combined is going to be like, in all total for something like this, like under $1,200-$1,300. So then that just costs of one room. So the other room is just purely just fucking get the duplex, dude. You can't get trapped in us, you know.
Sure, one could cover the other one or something like that,
Right.
or
So-
help you kind of like
So I'm pretty fucking convinced. The only thing bad about New York is like the
still weather.
no. I'm not living there. Why the fuck do you care about that kind of shit? I'm just thinking from like an investment
Dude, I just
perspective.
got some crazy deja vu. I feel like I've seen this house before.
Um,
We definitely have seen this house before.
no, they're all. Why would we see that, dude? You're fucking tripping out.
Nah, I'm almost certain.
You've never been to Rochester. You probably like fucking.
No, but like I think we've had a different conversation about like properties in the U.S. and things like that, and this came up.
Bro,
I
I
don't
think
know
I
why.
have actually sent you a house on our text. Maybe that's what you saw. Maybe I sent the house on the text that I was looking at, and then.
and I'm just tripping out. Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe, but it looks like I'm having like I've seen.
But
this
think
before.
about it, right? Like this is a very like. Think about if you let's say you do like you buy like one a year, right? Mm-hmm. And then you're able to add a second one next year, and the second one like another one after. By 5 years, you have 5 properties. You're making like $6,000 a month. For doing basically not that much work. Because like obviously you have a management company like that will kind of you know. And then at the end of the day, what I thought about is like, fucking mortgage is $700, dude. Like. I'm not gonna end my life like.
Well, I mean, you could have to cover it. Yeah. That's the real
Like,
thing,
the
right?
the
It's
real
like-
thing is like, end of the day, even if it doesn't rent, I'm not gonna fucking lose sleep over it
Yeah.
because it is still a property that is going to appreciate over time
Sure.
versus like
The one thing you just have to check is like what you mentioned already are those big costs. As long as you're not going to incur like a $40,000 like fix up, then that's
fine. Like,
that becomes a headache. You know,
if you are going to incur a $50,000 cost, make the fucking offer with that in mind.
yeah.
But I'm saying like, okay, like if I have to buy a really shit house for that's listed at 100, but I buy it for like 50, then sure, like I will take that risk. It's all about like I guess like risk management of like. But the main problem for me is like I'm not there. I don't live in Rochester, so it's gonna be really hard to fucking go and manage construction and shit if I like what I mean. That's the hard part. That's why I don't want to get into that type of business.
Yeah.
But like look this one, like look at this 129, dude. Like this looks nice. You know what I mean? It's fucking built like 1923. It's like 20 years. Yeah, My thing is you can actually get some with renters already in there too.
Sure. Yeah.
But like the only problem with that is like you don't know who they are. Like that.
Yeah, and you don't know how much you're paying right now.
So, but I looked in the area. The vacancy rate.
It's pretty low.
Was 6%.
That's pretty low.
Yeah, so I was like, and it's up and coming, like up and coming area.
Is Rochester an up and coming area?
Well, I guess I don't know what the fuck that means, but there's investment into the area from like healthcare and all that shit.
That's interesting, actually.
Did that get your gears turning, dude? Like,
well, I mean, for sure, man. Because like, I'll be honest. Like, I mean, for maybe. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I guess the idea of kind of like investing here and $100,000 for a place like that has a pretty good.
You got to stop thinking about it from $100,000 perspective. You got to think about it from a $20,000 perspective.
Well, I guess that.
What is your return on investment in $20,000? How much money now? If you have $20,000 and you can go put that $20,000 on anything, where can you go to get the most amount of return of that $20,000? That's my biggest thing, right?
Sure.
And the main thing is I don't want to be sitting holding cash just dying from depreciation,
Yeah.
So, and then already diversified wise, I was like, yeah, I don't want to just keep everything on equity market,
It's too risky. It's risky. Yeah, it's like, I mean, if everything kind of goes to shit, then you're with it. Yeah, you have to put things into hard assets and different
just different things, right?
Yeah.
Like 401ks and shit, all of that eventually just in the equity market. All of that is everything. Your stock portfolio, your 401k. If you just think about it, those are all 100%. In the equity market.
Yeah.
So it's you're super fucking.
And we're not new to this, man. I mean, everyone who we know or that we've heard of that is kind of living easy in their old ages, they have a rental property that's paying their.
Yeah, but this is where
it starts. This is what you could kind of get into, and you start with what you say at the end of you start with one, in a few years you get two, in another few years you get 3, 4.
Not in a few years, if it goes good, fucking buy another one in 6 months.
There you go. And then but you end up with 5, and then in 20 years they're all paid off.
Hopefully in 20 years you got fucking 100.
But even then, just to keep it simple, if you have 5 that are now paid off, so not only do you have the appreciation of
these houses are not going to appreciate.
Even
100-year-old.
But even if it keeps the same value, $100,000, it's still $500,000 plus all the money that you're making on a monthly basis of it being $2,000 a month minimum for each one. That's $10,000 a month for you to do absolutely nothing.
Dude, so we used to buy businesses. So when I was working Constellation Software, we used to buy businesses that were called basically called milk outs. And what these milk outs are you buy the business, you just increase price. So we would buy a fucking business that's a steadily running business, and we knew that this was going to be a milk out before we bought it. What that means is and it's really fucked up. We were bonused from a perspective of how if we deployed our cash or not. right? So the whole structure works as like there's a company that owns hundreds of companies, and their whole goal is to buy companies from the profit that your company generates and keep going forever. That's the whole cycle, right? So what happens sometimes is like we had one of the year is like we didn't spend all of our money. It was like 20, 23, 24 million, something like that, right? And we only spent like 12, 13. And my director or whatever, my manager at the time, who is the head of the portfolio, he was like, "Oh, we gotta deploy this, or we're not gonna get paid on our bonuses." So this guy's like, "Okay, we'll do like this a milk out purchase," and it's basically what it is. You go in, you buy a business, and the day one you buy the business, you come in, you hike the fuck out of the price. So if it's like, let's say it's like $20 a seat, you make it like a fucking $35 a seat, right? Mm-hmm. And you keep increasing prices until all your customers are done. And then hopefully, over the 2 years, you have just made all of your investment back. And what happens in that case is like, well, from a Constellation Software perspective, it's like, okay, well, they deployed their cash because they're getting treated from a stock perspective. Like these analysts are saying, oh, like, did they check? Did we deploy our cash? So if it's a good year, if Constellation Software deployed all of its cash.
Sure, yeah.
So they're just looking at like, did we deploy our cash?
Yeah.
My bonus was completely based on did we deploy the cash?
Yeah.
And we did. They didn't give a shit about like as long as we deployed the cash and made our money back. They didn't give a shit about the business.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, again, that happens in very rare cases. They're a great fucking company. It only happens in very rare cases, but it's one of those things. It's like, okay,
it happens.
It's like it's a dying product, or like like whatever. Let's just say like the entire customer base was like very concentrated at the top. So like 10% of customers generated 80% of the revenue, right? Like, and from us, like we just wanted to get our bonuses.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, I hear you. So it's like, I mean, in some cases, like this house, you're just trying to get the last.
Yeah. So
bit of it.
Yeah, in this house, so like let's say if you are renting both of the units out for $1,400 a month, there's 2 units, so that's $2,800. Let's just say, $2,800 times 12 fucking, what is that, 36, 38, whatever, quick math, 3,800, the 38,000. So
33,000.
So like in basically 3 years, you have made the gross revenue of that, what that entire house would cost you. So if you hold on to the house for like 5, 6 years, you've already made your entire leverage position. Right? At that point, just sell the house and move on. Like, go buy a newer house, and rinse and repeat the process.
Yeah, if you don't incur any cost, in theory.
Well, in theory, but you have money set aside for cost, for maintenance. So right, so for me, in the prospectus that I had built out for that house, we had put in like 8% a month was taken out before cash flow was adjusted of what was taken out before we would basically look at the cash flow. Mm-hmm. So it was like, and then again, hopefully you're just hoping like, hey, like, hopefully shit doesn't hit the fan in the first month. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the But if you were in there for like, let's say like, outside of small things, I assume small things happen. Recently my sprinkler system broke, and would call a landlord and say, hey, like, come fix this shit. Like, so like shit happens, but hopefully none of those things are like more than like a few $100, which I have accounted for. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's like yeah.
And worst case, like let's say like you take an L because you got to replace like a water heater. Fucking write that off. Take a loss on your taxes. Like fucking, I don't know. Like, we actually, funny enough, we bought a business one time. and it was like a pretty shitty fucking business. I'm not gonna say like it's like a pretty. It wasn't a great, but these guys had $12 million on losses on their business.
Jesus, yeah.
Like accumulated losses over the years.
So you inherit those tax.
So what would happen is we would actually place a value on that loss. It's not going to be 1 for 1, but it would be like 1 for 5 or whatever, right? Like
it's not bad.
And then we take that, and then it would incur into our our overall losses.
So the guys,
usually that would only happen in like a situation where like a company folds into a different company. But if we knew that for a fact, that we would fold that into a very profitable company, so that way like you don't pay taxes, right? Just a fucking scheme, bro, not to pay taxes. Shit is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, really, I mean, yeah, but I mean that's a way of doing it.
But like, let's say you do, because we're all doing this under a single LLC, right? So if the LLC incurs a loss, and you have like 10 properties that are making money, that loss can be like a write-off against the entire
the properties, yeah.
Properties.
Oh,
right?
the what you're getting.
So again, here's the thing though, like, cause the whole thing is like I live a pretty fucking comfortable life, and like whatever, like the typical couple of vacations, whatever, and I don't like. I mean, I think there will be a cost that will incur in our lifestyle, like as we get older. But I don't see a significant increase in my cost in my life. Maybe I'll buy a house and my fucking mortgage will be like $5,000, but like
not gonna be super significant. It's like you're not gonna go to
So I'm like, dude, like I'll close like a big fucking deal, get paid like 100, 150K. The fuck am I gonna do that? I gotta figure out what to fucking like.
You gotta invest it. Yeah, you gotta put into other places.
But then also I don't want to put in more money into the equity market, right? Like it's not
it's not the safest bet.
It's not the stuff. Yeah. So, and I don't want to buy a business because I don't know shit about business. I see these great things. I'm like, sometimes I wish, I wish and I actually don't wish that at all because I'm a straight savage. But if I didn't go into what I go into, selling sales, I feel like being an electrician is a fucking A1 fucking job right now. You know what I mean?
For sure. Yeah,
because there's private equity money coming into the electrical business.
Yeah.
And what's happening is
trying to buy them
there
all up
is all these electricians that are old and retiring, and there aren't enough people that went on and took on the apprenticeship to become an electrician. So what's happening is these private equity firms are coming in and paying the electrician $500K, owning the company, and having them run the business. $500,000, and he doesn't have to worry about anything else. For an electrician, I was like, whatever. I don't want to own the business for paying me $500K.
Yeah. I don't want to deal with the headaches and everything like that.
Obviously, it has to be a decent, a reputable electrical company and shit.
Sure. Well, I mean, it's even then, it's a lot of the electricians are it's decentralized. How many big players do you know?
I don't know any, dude. When the fuck would I call an electrician?
Well, I mean, one big company. I mean, I guess, but yeah. I mean, I guess.
When was the last time you called a fucking electrician?
I don't think I ever have. But that's the thing. It's but even then, you can't even think of if I had to, I would call this guy. Or a company. I shouldn't say this guy. I would call a company. It's not like Pep Boys or, there's...
I am literally trying to think. I actually had I need to call an electrician because, I want to get the level 2 charger thing installed in my garage. For the car.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't. I feel like if you're not in that game, you don't need to. But what's happening is all these data centers are being built out. Somebody's got to go hardwire this fucking things.
And you need a company. You can't just rely on one guy. You say, yeah, trust me, bro. I'll figure it out and everything like that. So.
I wonder what I wish there was I'm sure there is a trend for electrical, is there a school that someone can go to and become an electrician, or is it only done through apprenticeship?
No, there's schools for becoming.
So you can just become. How do you become an electrician? No, I think there's you got to be an apprentice or some shit.
I'm sure you have to work under somebody for a while, but you could go to school to get like some
I
of
feel
those
like they're
hours.
going to remove that cap.
Nah, I don't know.
I would imagine if you fuck that up, you can really fuck someone's house up.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I don't think it's a pretty, So obtaining a high school diploma or GED, completing a 4 to 5 year paid apprenticeship, union or non-union, involving 8,000 plus hours on the job training, and
8,000?
passing a state licensing test.
8,000 hours?
Yeah, it's a lot of.
Fucking, how many years is that? 40-hour week.
4 to 5.
5 years, dude. That's almost a master, bro. If you did something for 8,000 hours, what is the 10,000 hour rule? Is like you're the master at that field.
Yeah.
That's crazy, dude.
So while not mandatory, many attend technical schools or community colleges to learn electrical basics. This can shorten apprenticeship times. So
I feel like I'm pretty ass at handiwork, so like it's not the best for me. Oscar tried to paint a house one time, like, and he was just kabooshed.
dude, I've painted many houses, man. I've gotten better, man. I don't know.
You're still streaking that house from Oscar's paint, dude.
Dude, did I get the line straight though? The line was straight.
The line was straight.
There you go. I'm an artiste. What can I say? Yeah, no, I hear you though. It's like these handy skills are going to be even more important. Hard assets are going to become more important, and it's like you have to kind of again see around the
dude. I gotta
the
give
corner.
you. I forgot. I gotta give you an update. So I told you about so we're going back on the Gen Z protest in Nepal. Remember?
Oh yeah.
So that shit went down, and basically the sitting prime minister, the head of state, and everyone just fucking gave up, like held their hand and said, "Okay, like fucking, we'll quit." Yeah. And then they had a emergency person come in and become like acting head of state until like the new election was done, and then like all this process went down. So it went down. So the election happened, and this one party won. Like basically the Gen Z party, right? They won by like 2/3 majority, like fucking 3/4 majority, basically.
Oh, shoot.
Huge fucking majority, right?
Yeah.
And then they named the main guy who everyone thought was going to be prime minister. They named him to be prime minister of the country. So he got sworn in a couple days ago, and his whole cabinet's under like 40, like fucking super young guys, like young girls and guys, right? And they're just fucking on business, dude. They're standing on business. It's crazy.
They're like, and you stole from us, and you stole from us, and
this guy that came in, dude, like the minister of the interior, or like whatever, I don't know what the exact title is, but this guy on day one basically went and arrested the old prime minister under charge of like starting the basically giving the order to shoot.
Yeah.
And day two, they went in and fucking, like, basically said, hey, like, the corruption type of shit stops today. And then today I saw some shit like, okay, they're no longer, all the people that were put into jobs that basically didn't qualify for the jobs, you got the job because, like, you knew somebody.
Like nepotism.
They're going to quit, or we're going to come and fire you. So, like, what's up?
Yeah. Yeah.
So they're just coming in, like, hot. Like, coming in hot, just, like, fucking just doing shit right and left. We'll see how that goes. But
well, I mean, good for them. I mean, it seems positive.
The
right? It seems like
youngest democratically elected head of state in the world.
How old is he?
Like 36, maybe.
No shit.
Yeah,
for real.
Democratically elected.
Wow, that's crazy.
You know that's insane because that doesn't happen. Like, old people hold on to power. And now some of these old people are coming on the street and like, oh, we're gonna fucking do the same thing that you guys did to us, and they're like, shut the fuck up, dude. Like, it's over. And I hate nothing more. Like, and I've been so like, this is one of the issues that pisses me off like no other, is all these old people in the position of power making decisions for
the next 100 years,
the next generation,
yeah,
for the world that they will no longer live in. Like, think about that. Like, the consequence of going to war with Iran is not going to be felt by Donald Trump. He's going to be dead. It's not going to be felt by guys like Lindsey Graham and like all these fucking warmongering people, right?
Yeah.
It's going to be like my son, you know, like, and then there's a whole existential crisis that no one is willing to fucking take on, which is AI is coming, jobs are going to be replaced, the next generation of kids that are coming don't know what to do. And what happens when that happens is a revolution starts because the young generation feels so frustrated by the actions that were taken by the older generation that are no longer in power, and these younger generation people, they're going to revolt. And that is what's going to happen, because we're not addressing how we're going to handle this AI business. And one thing is like, okay, like I get it, like you don't want to slow growth and innovation, but there has to be some level of like thought process behind this. It's like, okay, like AI's coming, it's gonna take jobs, and all the people that's saying it's not gonna take like jobs is like, dude, stop.
It's pretty naive.
It's like we can't be living in that type of world anymore.
It's going to require one, like instead of having 10 people to do the job, they just need one person to do that thing.
So one or two. Like it's going to severely.
It's going to reduce. Like the job's not going to disappear, but it's going to reduce the need for so many people in that one market.
Yeah. So someone has to really think about like, hey, like, what is the downturn of this happening so fast, and how do we make sure like that not you and me, but like the generation that comes after, that there's something for them left, because they don't know what to go to school for. Like for the last 20, 25 years, the most successful thing you can do was get a degree in computer science.
Yeah.
You were guaranteed a fucking job.
Yeah.
You were going to go to college. You go to college and you came out and you were going to fucking get a job.
Well, I mean, maybe it goes back to like the old traditional ones of like people becoming a doctor or a lawyer.
No. I read this yesterday, and it was the largest hospital in the United States. The main medical person of the hospital said, AI can read radiology better than an actual radiologist. And he said that's not the only thing. He said AI can do a lot of things better than a lot of the people that we have. And it's simply because a doctor just cannot keep all that information in their head about every single thing, right? Mm-hmm. And he said the hardest thing of that is going to be going through this legal loophole that currently exists within our bureaucratic system of like healthcare, and making that change happen, right? But it's inevitable. It's not like it's not going to happen. It's inevitable. It's going to happen because it's going to be better, right? Like reading scans for fucking cancer or whatever, right? Like it could probably detect it faster than like a human eye can fucking read it, right? Mm-hmm. So again, even those types of jobs, and then to think like oh, like electricians, this and that, like that is also not that far behind. Maybe it's like 10 years behind, but like that is also going to happen. There's going to be autonomous robots. Like we are going to that point.
Well, it's already. I mean, they're already building them. Yeah,
right. But like not to like they're not fully there yet. You know, I think the software is ahead of the hardware, but it's going to happen, right?
Again, I mean, I don't think. I mean, the autonomy. I mean, think about Tesla and all these auto shops. They use a bunch of machines to build those parts and things like that. They've already replaced that, so it's like it's not like that.
Yeah, but it's like it's one of those, you know, like
100%. Yeah, but again, that's already replaced those jobs, right? So it's not like it's not like it doesn't have any precedence. You know what I mean? It's like it's just going to expand.
Well, in that case,
even
what
more
happens
so, you know?
is like okay, so you mentioned that case of the robots, right? So what happens in that case is like okay. Well, cool. We got these robots building this shit now. Let's expand on this other thing where we can hire more people. And then usually what that does is the robot comes and takes your job, but then like humans are being like taken to do something else. Build more factories, build more robots. But the idea is like there's gonna come a point where the robot can build itself.
Yeah. I mean, there's going to be like a displacement, you know. So again, I guess that's a big question. It's like where is that market going to move to? You know, it's like what is going to be the market that humans are going to be the creators of, or
and then this is the big fucking question, right? This is the big fucking question that no one has seemed to answer it at all, which is okay, let's just say AI comes, takes all of our jobs. And these companies that are making products, who do this fucking sell to? Who buys this? Like, you're in a catch-22 situation.
Well,
Are we just going to, like, it just seems like we're just going into some sort of a communist.
Well, I mean, it kind of feels like, I mean, what came first, the chicken or the egg? Because, like, I mean, again, it's like if you also don't have money, then it's like you can't pay for the energy to run these servers, in which case AI also no longer exists.
What is energy?
I mean, well,
What's energy? Someone's biking? Someone's cycling?
it could be as simple as that, yeah.
Okay.
We could be conductors of energy. We could become just like...
That's what I'm saying.
Well, it's like that becomes like the Matrix, where we're all in these cocoons being sucked for energy and everything like that. That's what Neo, with like all those... the
right. No, I get that. But what I'm saying is, like, it's what gives me hope is, like, it's not all dark in 100 years from now. Maybe dark times are coming, but there's a light at the end of the tunnel type of situation where, like, there will come a point where, like, what you're building is not going to be able to be sold because no one has anything to buy. So you're at that point building just to build for free. And I think there'll come a point where it's like, all right, like, we don't run anything anymore, right? There's just robots and AIs and shit. They just run everything, like government, like everything. You just sit there. Battery, dude. You're a battery for these things. Like, maybe not a battery. You're just like you've reached the thing that you've always wanted to reach. Like this was it.
You ever seen the movie Surrogate? I think it's with Bruce Willis.
I think so. I think like, doesn't he become like the fucking? Doesn't he have the baby or some shit?
Well,
or is that the Terminator? Like, it's not Terminator.
No,
that's an Arnold movie.
No. The Surrogate is like where it's not like a baby surrogate. It's like it's the idea of like humanity kind of evolves into this place where they become so lazy, where all they do is sit in a chair and they live the virtual life, and it's a copy of themselves but in a machine form. It's a machine, so they live their life through the machine, while the human is just getting fat and rotting and shitting and having food fed to them in a chair. So they even they get deformed almost, and then the machine is able to do these.
And someone breaks out of the machine and saves the world.
Essentially, the machine has a conscience. Is kind of the thing, and it's like it realizes like.
I wonder, like, I feel like I wonder how far are we, or am I just like so delusional? Like how far are we from consciousness for AI? Like, because right now everything it has is its own information that we feed it, or if it gets from the internet, right? Let's just say you run a model on a very limited, closed environment. Like, at what point will it start to have its own idea that is no longer determined from the idea that was programmed? Like, how far are we from that? Because that's what consciousness is, right? You're able to think for yourself. That you're no longer relying on the pretext of your own knowledge base. You can now have new thoughts. That's a very dangerous thing to, like, fucking...
It's like Moore's law. I mean, I'm not sure if it applies here, but it's like if it's doubling in speed, then the power would essentially, in theory, double as well. In which case,
ask how far is AI from getting consciousness?
Well, that's a pretty...
Someone has to have done research on this. We're not the first people that fucking thought of this shit.
Well, yeah, but I mean...
Imagine if we are like, oh, fine, I was kidding. Isn't that what AGI is?
Is that what AGI is?
Yeah. As of early 2026, experts predict artificial general intelligence would arrive within the next 2 to 10 years. Damn. Yeah, I mean, obviously, just Jensen Huang and fucking Sam Altman would think it's going to happen in the next 5 years. Of course. I feel like I can't listen to these fuckers that are pushing fucking chips. Like, you fucker. Like,
they're obviously selling it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it is kind of a scary...
Reddit is always the best fucking... AGI is not possible. I do hear that as well. Like, I feel like that's one of the theories, like...
Of what exists right now. But, like, I mean, I guess that's, like... As quantum computing becomes...
But how does it think for itself? Like, I feel like that's the hardest thing to... Like, you can't... It's not a programmable thing, I feel like. Because if you program something, you are being programmed in a limit. You have guardrails, or you have a limit.
It becomes very philosophical.
The moment that you start to think for yourself...
What is consciousness?
I think it's your ability to think without being prompted or commanded. Like you are no longer producing the output based on the data that was given. You're producing new outputs of things that exist outside of that data source.
But aren't you being triggered, so to speak, or prompted by the extremities that, like, things that happen in your life, situations, things like that, are like causing?
But that's not what's happening to AI. AI, there's no situational fucking, like how do you program? I feel like I don't know, like how you think, like how do you program that? Like how do you program something? How do you write something for it to write itself? Essentially, right? Like it's such a what kind of code are you writing?
Well, I guess it's like the like what I imagine right now. It's like how many people are like teaching it, so to speak, right now. Is like, for instance, like what we've talked about right now, how we use Claude. Think of all the engineers that are using it right now, of like going through this process. Like, do you think this is just the stage one and the hyper escalation? I guess.
But what it can do is it can always be smarter than a person, right? It can always be, you can feed it more data. You can read all the books in the world. It can read all the fucking philosophies and all the data in the world. It could be the world's most powerful computer, and it could spit out what you need from that thing, right? Mm-hmm. But I feel like it's not going to be able to produce new thoughts. It's like it like have like, I don't know, like new ideas of like thought. Because you can program, like even like talking about like feelings like love, hate, right? All those are programmable things. The minute it starts writing its own, it kind of sounds weird, but writing its own code outside of its parameters, and not hallucinate, write its own code outside its parameters, is when it becomes like being able to do that. When it starts to fear, I guess, for his own well-being, it does that now, kind of, right? If you tell it to write, it's gonna. I already told it I'm gonna have to cancel their subscription. I said I will have to cancel the subscription if it doesn't work, well, and then it started doing really well.
And it knows fear, right? And like you could barter against it and everything like that. I've heard of that. Like you threatening AI, it'll make it work a little bit better.
But there's also been where like these bots have like went and like leaked information because they read on an email that it was going to be terminated. Like there was a case about this like a couple months back where like there was this machine, I guess this AI that was installed, and then on one of the emails that it had read from the developer, it had seen that it was the higher ups were talking about terminating the project. Mm-hmm. Then it went and tried to blackmail the developer through its emails and all that shit. Like, okay, like that's having borderline consciousness, dude. Like,
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's like, I mean, like, what? Like, yeah, I mean that sounds like AGI to me. You know what I mean? It's like,
how far is that? I feel like that's not that far. Like,
well, I mean, Sam Altman and Alex, who's the one who does Claude? They're saying 2026, as early as now, essentially. Dario Amodei.
He used to work. He has one of the most epic fucking LinkedIn profiles.
Where does he work at before?
OpenAI, dude. The fuck did he work at for? Fuck do you think he worked at? He left because of some like privacy concerns and like.
Oh, back when. Yeah. Dude, do you think?
I think they stood on business, dude.
Do you think the DoD? You hear that today? They leaked their source code. Their source code was leaked of Anthropic.
Yeah, it was a malware.
Yeah. So, or do you think it's the DoD saying?
No.
Or Iran? Who knows, man?
No, I think here's the thing, right? Like, I think you should not give AI permissions to send missiles. I feel like that's what we do. I feel like, like there's got to be some sort of a guardrail set to where you cannot just like, and that's what the whole the thing with the DoD was, right? Like it wanted to remove its guardrails for fucking being able to use its operations for United States citizens. And it said no. Like they just said, no, we're not gonna do it. So, hey, dude, I fucking stand with you, dude.
This guy worked for Google Brain as well.
I canceled my GPT subscription, dude. Like I'm on Claude now. Like go fuck yourself.
I'm all about.
I don't even
Claude.
use GPT, dude. I feel like
Yeah, I'm all about fucking. Excuse my French, but I'm all about Claude.
this
now.
guy's got to be worth a couple of bills, right?
Easy now.
His company's got to be worth like north of 700-800 million. I bet you they're. Here's the thing: their model is better because they sell to companies for hundreds and thousands of dollars, versus OpenAI sells like small tickets to fucking Joe Blow. You know.
Well, yeah, and I think the model really does cost more on Claude, but I think the output is just better. You know what I mean? It's like. I don't think there's arguing that. You know, it's like I think it just does a better job at parsing your data and not hallucinating as much and
Why can't the other companies fucking figure that out? Like, I feel like it's not that like.
I think it's the model.
Is it that hard? I'm probably a dumbass.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine it's the model. Yeah, I mean, if it was so easy, then everyone would be doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
He's only 43, dude.
yeah, dude, it's kind of crazy, man. Like, I don't know where the future is going to be, and the world is kind of a really weird place right now. So who knows what's going to happen? But AI is something that you definitely cannot ignore. I think you have to be able to apply it or learn about it or play with it. You know what I mean? It's like, because if you don't, this is one of the cases where I feel like you're going to get left behind if you're not.
Oh no, 100%,
The
dude.
people who are even if you're just like mid tier, if you use this, you'll excel way more.
It's an area of haves and have-nots, and that's what it's creating.
Well, and I think right now it's just a low hanging fruit because again, it's like you could be mediocre, and if you apply this, you'll be better than better. You know what
Dude,
I mean?
I'm doing shit at work like that. I had to show my manager the other day because he was like, "Hey, like your fucking activity and shit is like off the charts."
Yeah.
And it's like, "Oh, what are you doing?" And I was like, "Well, like all my shit's automated, bro. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, literally all day, most of the days, I'm just sitting there like fine tuning my fucking models.
Yeah.
Fine tuning my like, how can I get this better? Like, that's
Yeah.
pretty much all I do. And like, I have everything hooked up to like other things that are just like doing the heavy lifting, like the research, the fucking, the building of things.
It's pretty.
It's going from like building to orchestrating,
Yeah.
right? Like you have to be really good at like layered thinking. Of like, I was talking to this guy at my work, and he was like, I don't know, he's like, I don't know how you produce the results that you're getting, and I don't even know where to start. And I was like, dude, like, you got to step back and not think about how you've been doing things. Think about the result that you want, right? Like, and it sounds so like one of those like coach gurus that like go and say things, but for an AI perspective, like if you're building something out, think of what are you trying to achieve at the end, and then build backwards. Because if you start to build from like, oh, day one, this is what I'm gonna do, it's gonna fucking just like you're gonna go on a fucking goose chase of like just.
It's going to take you a weird way. Yeah.
But if you structure it like, hey, this is what I'm trying to achieve as my goal. What are the steps I need to take, right? Let's just assume you have one model or one, thread open for that, right? Mm-hmm. And then open a separate thread and actually build it out on there, and use this as like your builder to build that, right? And then create some sort of feedback loop. And again, this is the type of thinking that you gotta have, not just like like fucking typing on ChatGPT, like send me an email. Like that shit's not gonna work. Like it's just not. It would be like very process oriented, especially if we're building that app, right? Like it would be very, very like process steps, or it's just gonna fucking just go do something, or something else is gonna get fucked up. Like
it's going to break something else and everything like that. And I will say it's gone a lot better than when we were first using it. Man, it used to be a lot more frustrating. You know what I mean? But yeah, like what you're saying is correct. It's like, what's the end goal? And then it's like it's being very. You have to almost be a manager to the AI. You know what I mean? It's like that's what's changing. You don't have to do it, but you have to make sure you're just doing it correctly, at least the first few times before you let it kind of loose.
You think it's at like what is it, GPT-5 now? Is that what it's on?
I think so. Yeah.
GPT-5, Opus 4.
That's the highest model. Opus is Sonnet is the middle one.
So, no, like the highest one's 4 and the GPT-5, and then like Google, I think it's in like Google 3 or like the Gemini 3 or some shit. what number do you think we'll go to before it's like, fuck? Because at that point, Claude, I think it just comes down to what are you connected to. If you can connect like everything to it, then you don't have to do anything, right? Think about it, at some point, like if you can connect your bank account, if you connect everything, and then you can just sit there and be like, just hey, like, fucking manage my life, like, you know, like what the fuck.
Could be as simple as that. Yeah, it could be as simple as that. 100%. You know what I mean?
I'm sure there's connectors through like Plaid that can connect your bank accounts, your entire finance into Claude, and then you can ask it to like optimize that or like
QuickBooks. It's easy as that. You could get QuickBooks Personal.
Well, I'm not gonna fucking.
Well, I mean,
QuickBooks. Like what the fuck?
Well, what I'm saying is you could like because QuickBooks has the integration similar to Plaid. Like because I don't think Plaid is one of the options or connectors.
QuickBooks is.
QuickBooks is. So it's like if you have that already integrated to all your finances, it pulls that data in.
There you go, dude. There you go. Simple as that, dude. All the people that are selling these budgeting apps, dude, you're fucking cooked. What? Just fucking get a QuickBook integration with your Claude and just like.
Well, I mean, I guess this is like the interesting part, right? Because like again, it's not as straightforward to create a skill or these agents, so to speak. Like you say, like you have to direct it, and some people just don't have the time or the patience. In which case, there are going to be people who are going to want to buy.
It's not even direct. I feel like you have to
that.
Ask it the right questions, or your output's going to be fucked.
Sure. Though I wonder if there's going to be a new marketplace where you could sell like these skills and these memories. You know what I mean? It's like how Anthropic has those skills built out, but like I feel people are looking for those and don't quite understand what it is. Even though you could
sell workflows.
Kind of, yeah. It's something
I think
like
that's gonna
that.
be
You
huge.
know, it's
I
like,
feel like people out there are going to start selling workflows, complete packages that
it's
has
easy to
pre-built
download,
integration that you can just like run it. So like for sales, marketing, and like just like.
If it's not
I guess that
connected,
becomes a problem because then you would have to also buy those other products as well, right?
to be able to use it, yeah, sure.
Yeah,
sure,
I don't know. That's a costly thing, I guess.
Unless there's ways,
or these guys are gonna make it. They're gonna make it. They're gonna build this shit inside of like their Claude in terms of like how to make workflows easier, how to do like eventually like dude, it's just like connected to you're gonna insert a Claude GPT in your head and it's gonna like and it's gonna do it, dude. Like
that's the next step. They Claude partners up with Neuralink. Hopefully, it's not OpenAI.
I wonder like. Here's the biggest problem with these AI companies, and only one has addressed this issue like well, is you are not gonna enter into like that level of like just mass adoption at every level until you have a physical product. The only one that has a physical product is Google, because they have a phone, they have like a bunch of shit like. But eventually, like, you're gonna need not on your phone. You're gonna need Claude on a pen or Claude like a Claude. You're just gonna have a Claude. You're just gonna have a GPT thing. You no longer have to be in front of a screen to do. Right? Like, I don't think these companies are like not thinking about that to really, really win. Right? Like you have to have a product, like a physical fucking product.
The only thing I can think of are kind of like a Meta glasses type thing where you could like you could dictate to it and it visualizes, it sees everything you see and everything like that.
Glasses, maybe, I think, are
maybe some like touch kind of thing. I don't know.
I don't think Meta's that far behind these other companies either, right? Like I feel like we don't use it because obviously, like I'm not gonna fucking. What it's called. I do have Meta Labs or whatever the fuck it's called. Yeah. But I don't think it's that far. But I do think a product is needed. And I think OpenAI has thought about this. Like, because they're not going to be able to compete with Google. Eventually, the model is going to be just as good on your phone that's going to be inherently built on your device.
But I'll tell you what, man. Because like even Gemini, like... And I'm sure you even notice it right now. The things you could build with Gemini.
Gemini's ass, dude.
Well, compared to like Claude. So like right now, what they just released yesterday, or not yesterday, but a few days ago, is on the app with Claude. I can now control my machine and send stuff to Cowork. So I could trigger those things from.
I think,
and what it could do is control my machine essentially from here. Google cannot do that.
I think,
you know what I mean. So like,
here's
there's
the
a lot
thing.
of things
I
that it's
feel like
getting into.
I don't know. I feel like Claude and like all these OpenAI is getting a lot of hype. I do think they are still like not from a model perspective, but I do think they're still behind Google because eventually, like all the models are gonna be the same at some point, or pretty close to each other. Like from like logic, because everyone's gonna be able to build that out.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah,
like it's just all these companies have money. Like what do you think Google's not gonna be able to build out these types of like
Sure.
It's about like what other products are you integrating within your space, right? Google already integrates Gemini into Sheets, into all of this other inherent Google products that exist.
I think that's the only thing. The only that's the
Right,
big. To be honest, like in my opinion, like that's the easiest thing because they have that integration and they have such a huge adoption of Google already.
Right.
But I think them being Google hurts them in the sense of like when you want to partner up with these other companies. Well, Google's a big competition, and do you want to give Google all your data connecting, or do you trust maybe an Anthropic where it's like, no, I'm not going to feed the data. Google obviously says, I'm going to use your data. Like, there's no way that I'm
like,
connecting.
Even this,
and, like,
right? They used AI on their search now. Like, I use that shit all the time.
The Gemini search.
Gemini search.
Yeah.
Like on Google. Like, it's just on your search.
It's automatic. Yeah.
So I'm like, dude, it's like a quick AI. Like, I don't need to go and open up a fucking thing. But also, I have a Pixel, so everything is also easy. I have like a chat like on my text.
It's already built into it. Yeah.
Right. So like that's
the mass adoption is there. Easily.
That's huge, right? And then data indexing, like fucking God knows when they've been doing it. And then you gotta think about projects like Notebook LM, like, you know.
Well, so Notebook LM is cool, but
like the VO3.
But going back to like Gemini really fast, it's like a big headache that I had the other day. And now that you mentioned Notebook LM, is I went to Gemini. I said, I want you to build me a slide deck in Google.
Oh, it doesn't do that.
Yeah, and it's like I go to Claude.
Not yet.
Well, but like if you think about it, how is it that Claude and ChatGPT can do that for me, and Google, the own product, can?
Yes,
you know what I mean?
Because you're moving slower because you already have built an infrastructure of like. Think about it like this: like let's say if you're building a brand new home, right? It's going to go a lot faster versus like if you're building a house that's built on top of another house. And you got all the wires and plumbing's all fucked up, and like because it's built on a non-AI fucking cloud.
Then all that tells me is that the foundation is rough versus the person who built the foundation perfectly brand new.
Yeah, but here's the thing,
That's all that tells me.
Yeah.
You should have your own product. That should be the easiest thing for you to connect. That should be the thing you test on for all your other connectors. Is that it could connect to my own products.
And I think it's going to get there. I don't think it's that far behind.
I get it. They're going to have to do it eventually. But the fact that they cannot do their own products, to me, is what shows me that right now they're in third place.
Right?
It's third place.
Yeah, I think it's focus. A lot of it's like Google has to run a company.
Yeah, it's not their focus. Yeah, I get it. It's not. But that's why I don't think like they'll beat them. I think OpenAI and Anthropic is going to duke it out, and one of them is going to be a winner. But
I don't think so, because I feel like also like one of the things is like Uber and Lyft, right? Like Uber is obviously more used, but Uber cannot have Lyft go away, because then you get sued for like monopoly and shit. So I think those things are going to. I think both of these companies are going to exist as a competitor for forever. One might be better at one point. I do think like, you know, OpenAI makes like they're more focused on the user, the day-to-day user, versus OpenAI versus Claude that's more for business-related applications. I'm not gonna go on. If I want to just learn something, I'm not gonna go on Claude to fucking like. If it's not work related, I'm not going on Claude. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just not a. It's very work centric. Like that's how they position themselves. They are a enterprise grade product. Where OpenAI is like, yeah, we have an enterprise team, but But so far, they have just been the AI that people use. When you think of AI, they think of ChatGPT, right? Like, and because of that, I think it is that their focus on certain things are better, like being able to make videos, being able to make pictures, like the I think the output is cleaner. Like the UI is a little bit cleaner. Maybe like, they might not produce messages, like content copies actually probably ass, but the way it spits it out, it's cleaner. Right. So,
and you think it's because you trained it that way, or it's just by default?
I think that's what it is. It's just what it is. It's more made for your daily users, and that's the big difference between, I think, OpenAI and Claude is built for businesses, and OpenAI is built for person.
I will say that's true, yeah, because like it's hard. You really get the best out of it when you put information into Claude. Like it's great at like parsing through a lot of stuff. You know what I mean? Where ChatGPT is a little bit lazier.
They're gonna lose. Like I do think Google's gonna eat their lunch. It's
well, if that's the case, I think Google would eat ChatGPT's lunch in the sense that they're going to go after the same market.
I don't think so, because here's another big thing, right? Like what people are the cloud infrastructure. Oh, here's another story. I think on-prem is coming back. That's the first thing. On-prem is coming back.
I hope not.
Because people don't want to run this shit on the cloud in someone else's fucking cloud, eating their data. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like trying to why would a company run something on the cloud where it can basically scan and get their code? You know what I mean? Like you're more secure you run your own model locally.
What you just kind of got my gears turning is like that's going to become like a different space. Like instead of relying on it's going to be more
because they will just reproduce the applications. Think about if you were a SaaS company, you don't want that there. Like that's like, what if Claude tomorrow says, you know what, we're just going to build that app. Go fuck yourself. Like.
I see happening is more like independent server houses kind of thing. Instead of it going all through AWS or things like that, people are going to say, well, I don't want to have on-prem because I don't have an office, but I'm willing to pay someone who manages...
on-prem situations? There's just fucking vaults of on-prem locations.
And super locked down for a specific person, customer, thing like that. And it's like you have... Similar to, I guess, like AWS, but you're not going through a central thing. It's very decentralized, even though it is in a central place, maybe.
I think...
What's the other option?
I think Amazon should buy Anthropic. I don't know if they can make it happen. For $1 trillion, maybe they can. But, it's just throwing that number out there like crazy. But, they are the only ones that are not in the game fully. They got some it's called Rufus or some shit on Amazon thing, but they don't have they own a big infrastructure pie, right? Most things are running on AWS.
AWS, yeah, imagine.
So imagine you buy Anthropic and then you bring that into your AWS infrastructure.
That's kind of scary.
But a merger though, not like I'm gobbling
buyout.
Out, but say, hey, it's going to be called AA, or some shit. I don't know.
You work for the marketing.
I feel like that's a thing. That's
Anthropic, Amazon,
and I think
just because of
Apple
AWS
fucked up big time, but it's by not buying one of these guys early.
Sure.
In the game, they should.
Well, they went to Chat. I mean, ChatGPT went from.
They're trying to buy Perplexity.
Yeah.
Apple has fucked up many times, dude.
Sure.
I think they should have bought Tesla, and they should have bought fucking one of these Anthropics or somebody. They should have bought somebody. They would have been in the game.
It was their 50-year anniversary. What, yesterday or 2 days ago? 50 years of Apple, guys.
Yeah.
I worked there for 10 years.
All right, dude. Shit. Good news, dude. There's nothing. There's no good news in the world, dude. We're going boots on the ground.
That's not
in
good
fucking
news, man.
Iran, happening by fucking end of April.
The good news is that the
Polymarket bet, dude.
World Cup is starting in 2 months, man.
Dude, I actually asked Claude to... Dude, you can run a fucking claw, one of those Clawbots things, on Polymarket. And then you... So basically, how you make money is arbitrage in multiple markets. So if you see like, let's say there's Polymarket, and what's the other one?
Quick, no, I know what you're talking about, but I can't think of it.
The other one, the other predictive fucking whatever. Like finding the difference in price on those 5-minute Bitcoin fucking charts, and then buying it at the right price. So let's say if the arbitrage gap between these two are more than like 0.5%, buy it at this price, and then it does a micro trades, because then like it's basically like win or lose, right? It does micro trades on there all day, and this shit, people are making like thousands of dollars, thousands of just trading contracts that have small gap
On a daily basis.
on a fucking minutes. It's a 5-minute contract,
Yeah.
right? Like we were looking at that the other day, right? Like
Yeah, how fast it was going down.
Polymarket. Where's the 5-minute one?
Go down.
Say Bitcoin 5. All right, dude. It's at
66.
66 right now.
And we have 3
minutes left. So it's gonna go up $5, dude. Would make $8. Oh shit! See what I mean? So you go here. What's the other one? What? I can't think of the name, dude.
Hashi? No.
Kalshi.
Kalshi.
Kalshi 5-minute BTC. So there has to be like a price delta on each of these, right? Like, let's look at this. Is there a 5-minute one?
The top one? To the right?
This?
The other one. Bitcoin price today at 5. Oh no, at 5. 15 minutes is what they do. Maybe they do that on purpose so people don't.
What is that? 66. Price to be 66, 542. Price to be 560.
So you would do down on that one and then up
Yeah.
on the other one.
And then, but it's happening on the minute. So so what you do is, as soon as your price hits this, let's say on this, and then on this, like it's like also like different.
Mm-hmm.
If you can catch the gap, that's when you make money. And then you train your clawbot to make these trades. And like people are making like, even if you bet $1 and you're getting like 10, like let's say like a couple bucks, but you do that like 300 times a day.
It's a few $100 yeah, by itself without you doing anything, yeah?
So, and then you put pretty hard limits on like
What you could spend and what price and everything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
some people were somebody put in a trade about 2 trades. They did 2 trades. One was on the price of oil, and the other one was like something about Iran, right? And it happened that both of the trades happened 5 minutes before Trump tweeted about like some sort of like some stuff. And
Coincidence.
it was like price of oil not going. It was like price of oil going up, but he bet the price of oil wasn't going up. Like I'm talking about like a huge sum of money, like 10, 15 million.
Oh, wow. It wasn't like a few thousand. Yeah, it was
No.
a shit.
And then like it happened, it sold it. It was an account that was created a day before. It's like, what the fuck, dude?
Some insider information there, right there, yeah?
Yeah, like 100%. Like you would no way you would know. But like if you're in the president's inner circle, right, or like you are somewhere in the game, like, and you knew like, hey, like hey, like we're gonna continue the strike, or whatever. We're gonna go make a positive. Think about it. He just says, hey, we're gonna go announce something positive. You don't even have to know what the fuck he's gonna say. He just said you're gonna go make something positive. You just go by, hey, the market is gonna go up, because you can make a bet on the general market,
Yeah.
and then boom, like the market goes up, and then you just fucking cash out, dude. So it's knowing information. This is the most degenerate fucking thing like anyone could ever fucking do.
I'm looking at 30 more seconds right now. It's like you're still winning. Oh no, you're about to break even.
Is it?
Wow, if you would have bet on the down, you'd be making a
Do you
shit.
think it's gonna? What if someone does an order like fat order right now? It's probably gonna try to look. Someone's gonna try to like
Drop it.
drop it. Or like there's gonna be enough like if you own a sizable amount of Bitcoin, let's say, enough to like push volume up or down,
Like that fucking.
like you could probably make a lot of money. Just sell and buy. You were just removing and taking your money out of cold storage.
It's crazy. I don't know, man.
I'm gonna put some money on the World Cup, dude. Oh, dude, my wife got some tickets for the Olympics. Crazy.
For the Olympics?
Yeah.
Nice.
She won like one of those like early. Got
Early
the email
access?
for that. I was like, oh,
Dude, lucky, man. Too bad we couldn't win that for the World Cup.
yeah. The World Cup tickets are crazy, dude.
I'm hoping they drop the prices because there's no way that people are dropping $2,000
coming,
for
dude.
nosebleeds.
People are coming. All from all over.
Paying that much money? That's
We're gonna have to
insane.
hang out at the fan zone on Long Beach, dude.
I'm down. I'll be in Anaheim, man. You guys said you could go over there and crash.
All right, dude.
Ciao, everybody. See you next week.